You stupid fucking retard.
That about sums it up.
And I'm done with you. Piss off. You're never going to get my attention again.
Hello fellow kids, how are you? Some of you may have noticed, and it is just a small amount, as we'll find out in a minute, that I made a video in the last 48 hours called TJ Kirk is a fucking idiot, based upon a tweet I sent him and some tweets I got back, and a video that he made about those tweets, a live stream that he did. Okay, so then I decided to add some of my thoughts to that live stream and the tweets and his position, which is essentially that David Hogg, the Parkland gun shooting survivor in Florida, America, was targeted by Laura Ingraham, a Fox News presenter, who sent him the fact that he didn't get into university and then accused him of whining about that fact. And a lot of people were up in arms about that, because essentially it is, to the majority of people, a grown adult bullying a very young adult / child. Okay, technically he is a child, technically I believe, but we'll go with young adult just to appease TJ, who I know has watched my response video. The point is that TJ thinks that the reaction to Laura Ingraham's tweet is disproportionate to the fact that David Hogg immediately tried to get all of her advertisers to pull out of her show, therefore she loses money, and Fox News gets in a bit of trouble. They're like, oh my god, we're losing money, what's going on here, Laura, what have you done? And really it's just a way to show the world what an awful person she is. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, is the point I made in the video. And the kids are going, look, you've got to stop calling us crisis actors, you've got to stop throwing all of this bullshit at us, because we know how the internet works. We have a little bit of power here, and we are going to show you that you can't keep behaving like awful human beings to us. You may disagree with what we're saying about gun rights and gun laws and stuff, but fuck me, do not smear our names, because we will bite back. Now, TJ thinks that is a disproportionate reaction, and you shouldn't go after advertisers and all this kind of stuff. And also in the tweets that he sent earlier, he did come across as a bit of an idiot, which is why I made the video. The point of my video, I'm going to show you edited highlights of his 37-minute response to my 45-minute video about him and his thoughts on Parkland and his tweets. Okay, he has speeded up the footage of me in his video because he was pushed for time, which I think is a good idea actually, and then he just interjects various points with his own thoughts on what I've said. Okay, what I'm going to do is the same things. Now, the whole point of my video, which I didn't think I had to spell out, I thought people would get the joke and the point and the structure of my video, which was TJ says overall that it's okay to mock a child / young adult if you're using facts. Okay, now Laura Ingraham, as you'll see here, did also call him a whiny cuck, essentially. But yes, she uses facts to mock David Hogg, and it really, at the end of the day, is a fairly mild tweet. We both agree on that. He says it's okay for someone to use facts to mock someone, okay, and then he made a 37-minute video criticising me for using facts to mock him. All I said, quite a few times, really ramming the point home, is that his channel, which has 1 million subs, is dying, and it will drop below 1 million subs eventually, and then further and further, and no one's really paying attention to his main channel. He does describe in this video that he has other channels available, which I wasn't aware of, because his stuff isn't for me, so I don't really have any idea of what he's up to. I just know that he is a figurehead of the whiny piss baby community, and if he says something, I have the right to then reply to him. But you'll see he disagrees with that statement later on in the video. Okay. Also, he only watches less than half of my video before, quote, tapping out and going to do other things because he gets bored or he just gets annoyed by me, okay? That's not great. If you're saying to me, part of his video is saying, how dare someone with almost 0 subscribers and viewing figures criticise a big fat channel with 1 million subscribers like TJ Kirk. How dare you? Know your place. But, and I also admit that I don't watch a lot of his stuff, and he uses that against me, but he's watched none of my videos apart from a third, like 1 minute. 15 minutes would be a third. He watched 16 minutes of my response video before thinking, oh, fuck this. Now, to be fair, he does say that he skipped through the rest of the videos and saw some other bits and bobs. He barely addresses it, right? But I'm in the wrong for criticising him because I've not watched any of his stuff. Makes sense, doesn't it? I must, in the future, get 1 million subs myself before I'm allowed to criticise anyone else with a large platform using facts and still images from Social Blade, which is an analytic website which analyses YouTube numbers. How dare I? I want to respond to TJ here because, as I've mentioned already, why his argument is rubbish. You know, I can criticise or analyse or just look at or talk about someone with a larger platform than me. It doesn't. His argument makes literally no sense. Let me tell you, TJ, because you know you watched the other video, which wasn't officially addressed to you. It was just to my own audience, describing why you're an idiot. But if you are going to watch this video, let me talk to you man to man here. You have 1 million subscribers for several reasons, right? You've found a niche. Yeah, I congratulate you for that. You realise that whining and pissing and moaning and swearing and saying words that are taboo, kind of like faggot and retard, will get a lot of, let's imagine, young impressionable people who still think that kind of stuff is edgy in 2018 watching your stuff. It's fine. I'm not criticising that at all. I think that's it's anything, it needs to be applauded. Really, I don't agree with any of your content, the little I've seen, but you know, I think it's just sort of really lowbrow, rubbish, hack stuff. But there is an audience for it, okay? That audience does not watch SJW stuff. The only time they watch it is if you talk about an SJW-based video or tweet, and then they go along to that account and leave a few kind words like calling someone a cuck over and over again. The words that you use in your videos. See how that works? Doesn't happen all the time. Didn't happen on your original video to me. Did happen on your second video to me. And I'll read some of those out either later, here, or maybe in another video, because they are so poor as far as insults go. Guys, you need to up your game. I mean, it's all well and good telling me to kill myself, but put some fucking imagination into it. Go on! You know, just a few extra words, you know? Look at me, I'm not fucking attractive. I'm wearing glasses to cover up a third of my face, for crying out loud. Just use your fucking brain.
But I figured I'd have time to respond to this 45-minute video by anti-social media called TJ Kirk is a fucking idiot. If I do it at double speed. And if I keep my prattling commentary to a minimum. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I've always thought of myself as a great pioneer of whiny piss babies. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to acknowledge me in that way. So just out of curiosity, let's see here. Your video here, TJ Kirk is a fucking idiot. You posted it last night. It has 576 views. I actually posted a video last night as well. It has 36,000 views. Is that less or more than 576? I'm actually trying to remember that right now.
15,000 subs in that 4.5-month period, which averages out at 2,888 subs lost per month. In the last 30 days, TJ's lost slightly above average.
Which is actually higher than the amount of subs that you have after 2 years. You gotta mention that too, right? I lose more subs in a month than you've ever had. So put it in that context. I mean, I don't know. You know, I went to total shit. I'm still doing many times better than you. So I don't know how you can play this card. Now, if you're a fucking channel with like 4 million subscribers or something, you can play this like, oh, you're irrelevant now card. If I'm irrelevant now, then you're beyond fucking irrelevant. You're a speck. You're a fucking... I mean, do you have any idea how many subs I'd have to lose to get to your level? Do you have any idea how many views per video I'd have to lose to get to your level? I mean, like, it'd just be... the numbers would be gargantuan. So you don't get to fucking be a little ant and walk up to me and be like, you used to be an elephant on YouTube and now you're just a walrus, so you fucking look at your fucking downfall, bitch. And by the way, this is not the ass end of my career. Unless I die or I'm kidnapped by terrorists and beheaded or whatever the fuck happens to me, unless something like that happens, I ain't never leaving this son of a bitch.
The point I want to make is, TJ, the other reasons why you have such a large sub base, for example, I subscribe to you despite admittingly saying on camera that I don't watch barely any of your things, like one thing a year on average, I think it is, right? But I subscribe to you. Why is that? Why does someone who doesn't watch your stuff or like you subscribe to you? The reason is a word called rubbernecking. Okay, now I may only be 2 years into my YouTube, I wouldn't say career, and we'll address that in a minute, into my YouTube time, right? But one of the very first videos I made is when I discovered a young man called Sargon of Akkad, and I wondered, how the fuck does a man with a really boring voice, who says the same things over and over again, who essentially is pandering to people who want him to say a particular thing, how has he got like 500,000 subs or 700,000, whatever it is at the time, or whatever it is now, which is probably higher? And it was a mystery, right? And then I realised that he's got some really provocative video titles, he covers some provocative subjects, and he says some very offensive, bigoted things. He panders to racists, panders arguably to the alt-right. He certainly would deny that now. He doesn't like them now, quote unquote, but you know, he has done in the past. There's no denying that. The whole Kekistan thing is essentially a gateway into the alt-right, after all. You know, he just trolls people, openly admits to doing that, and then it's sort of the penny does drop, you know. People watch him because of rubbernecking, right? Which is, officially, the term rubbernecking is normally used for when you're on the motorway, on the highway, and in front of you there's a car crash, a big crash happens, right? So what you do is everyone slows down for safety reasons, but the other reason why they slow down, you know, to drive past the accident is to have a look at the carnage, right? To have a gawp and have a stare at mangled cars, people's limbs all over the place, you know, blood, death, destruction. They have a morbid fascination with something they shouldn't be staring at, something that really is wrong to look at. And that is exactly how people operate on a certain part of YouTube. The anti-SJW, anti-feminist part of YouTube is all about saying the most offensive and or provocative things for attention, right? And what you'll get is, it's a shame it works this way, what you'll get is lots and lots of trolls and people who are impressionable and people who think you're being edgy and just people who just like bland entertainment of a man shouting wearing a hat. And that's where your audience comes from. So let's start with Sean from Sean and Jen, who has 83,000 subscribers and makes incredible videos. And then we've got ContraPoints with 115,000 subscribers who makes incredible videos. And then finally H-Bomber Guy with 234,000 subscribers who, in my opinion, blows everybody out of the park. If you combine all of their subs together, it reaches 432,000 subs, less than 500,000 subs for the three biggest, in my opinion, quote-unquote, SJW channels. That's less than half the amount of subscribers that one man has on YouTube. Now, he can say, oh, that's a massive achievement if he wants, but it just reinforces my point that I was alluding to earlier, which was SJWs, when they have a subscriber, it's normally a proper fan. When anti-SJWs have a subscriber, it's just people watching a car crash in real slow motion in front of their eyes. They're disgusted, but they cannot look away. I don't want to dwell on this too much because it isn't really what I set out to make a video about, but you can't be too happy and celebrate the fact that you have loads and loads of subs when really only a fraction of them watch your stuff. You've got to take the whole picture into perspective.
So if that's fucking irrelevance, then what are you, bitch? What are you, anti-social fucking media? Huh? What are you? You're nothing. You're less than fucking nothing. So how dare you even come to me with this line of bullshit?
But you know, you really only need to watch 5.
Okay, so there you... Once again, someone trying to criticize me that's not even familiar with my shit. That's always good. I don't really watch your videos, but I'm going to make all these fucking assumptions about them. Okay, what have I assumed about you? What have I assumed about you, you fucking prick? The only thing I've assumed about you is your numbers. But I'm not making an assumption. I'm just looking at them. I'm looking at your fucking numbers, dude. You don't have the fucking right to talk shit about my numbers when you've been at this for 2 years and your numbers are shit.
You know, I sometimes wonder if I stopped just doing what I do on YouTube and just went, grrr, SJWs, oh, bloody feminist ruin, oh, they want to take away our freedom of speech. If I said all of those things over and over and over again, like thousands of other shouty man babies do, then I'm sure my subscriber base would rise. And I would hate it. I wouldn't want that audience watching my stuff. I don't make stuff for the amount of people who watch your stuff would never watch. It's not for them, and likewise your stuff is not for me, but I keep an eye on you. You know, I subscribe, and just occasionally a video title will pop up or a tweet will come out and I'm able to make a joke about you, and you know, that's life, isn't it? If Laura Ingram's allowed to do it, why aren't I allowed to do it? If you're allowed to do it, why aren't I allowed to do it? You know, consistency, TJ, consistency. Okay, so TJ is literally, his only argument is I've got less subs than him in the vast majority of his response videos. So let's just go through the numbers again in a different format. First of all, he shows some recent stats from me that I've lost a few subs, gained a few subs, literally a handful each time, whereas he's lost a few thousand, and they are equivalent to what I've never had in the first place, which is an argument. It's not a great one, but it is an argument, right? My point is, it's not all about numbers when you compare. I'm just giving the viewers an idea of how badly his channel, his main channel, is going. It's a simple illustration technique of just to show people who may not be aware of TJ anymore, because as I said, no one watches his shit anymore. Just giving them an update of his life and his channel, essentially. And for some reason, that's bad. That's frowned upon. That's not allowed at all. Okay.
You'll know the template for the rational skeptical video by now, don't we? Something very, very minor, very tiny, pisses off the conservative, right-leaning, anti-SJW, anti-feminist community on YouTube, and they piss and moan about it in 1, 2, 5, 12, 1,000 videos, and forevermore.
Did you just say I was right-wing? Because I'm not. Alright, so here's why maybe you should have watched some of my videos. Because you think I'm right-wing, and I'm not right-wing, so right off the bat, you don't even, like, you're gonna make a 45-minute video about me, you don't even know what side of the fucking political spectrum I'm on. And I'm not, when I say I'm left-wing, I don't mean like I'm a Sargon of Akkad classical liberal, you know. No, I'm a fucking straight-up goddamn liberal. Like, universal health care, universal fucking background checks on guns, all the pro-choice, you know, all the fucking classic liberal positions. I believe in raising the minimum wage. I fucking think that the biggest issue in America is income inequality. So does that sound like a fucking right-winger to you? Is that the new right-wing philosophy? And no one told me? Maybe I'm classic right, you know? I'm a classic rightist. You don't know shit, you fucking pretentious cocksucker.
Anywho, we all know the template for the rational skeptical video by now, don't we? Something very, very minor, very tiny, pisses off the conservative, right-leaning, anti-SJW, anti-feminist community on YouTube, and they piss and moan about it in 1, 2, 5, 12, 1,000 videos, and forevermore. It's pretty straightforward. And at some point you have to blame the left for that problem, or indeed all the world's problems. And if you're extra clever, you can crowbar in the buzzword SJW for extra points and prizes. And by that I mean stupid people will give you money. Not only did I not call you conservative, I just said that you are literally part of a community that kind of panders to them. That's all it is. Calm down. Calm down. Honestly, I've said it already. I get his point. Right? But if you spend a vast majority of your career pandering to the same people that conservatives pander to on YouTube, you're going to be lumped in with them no matter what, you know? So it's your own fault.
So how on earth does TJ Kirk differentiate himself from the army of grown whiny men on YouTube, you ask? Well, it's quite simple. He wears fingerless gloves and a hat.
How do I differentiate myself from them? I invented this shit, you prick. I was doing anti-SJW shit before anyone. When you say I'm one of the pioneers of whiny crybaby bullshit, no, I am the pioneer of what you term whiny crybaby bullshit. But actually, it started off as a revolt against whiny crybaby bullshit. Because the entire fucking premise of the argument of the groundwork that I laid out was, look at these whiny crybabies who are trying to control the way everyone talks, who are trying to control the way everyone thinks. Now, did a bunch of right-wing retards take some of that groundwork and twist it into something else and then use it for their own version of identity politics? Yes, they did. And that's unfortunate, but that's not my fault. People can do what they want to. People can have their own fucking ideas. If there's a big smorgasbord of ideas and they want to grab a little bit out of my fucking trough and say, this is mine now, but I'm going to use it for my crazy right-wing agenda, that's not on me, bitch. Don't lump me in with that on some superficial fucking basis.
I think it's fair to say that what TJ doesn't seem to understand here is that he has a YouTube career. Keyword, career, a job. Whereas I use YouTube as a hobby. Keyword, hobby, okay? Why do I do that? Because my numbers are piss poor. I will openly admit on video, and I've done it already, I did it in the actual video to TJ, that I have not got a successful YouTube channel. Not only is it because I'm an SJW and therefore will have a smaller viewership overall, as I've already pointed out, it's just people are crying out for left-wing people to make videos that are funny and informative, and ContraPoints and H-Bomber Guy have led the way, but it's fucking hard work getting those people on board on my videos. I've tried really hard. There's a lot of content out there and it's hard work. And at the start of this year, exactly 2 years into my YouTube career, shall we call it, I sort of just gave up. I sort of thought, if they're not going to come, I'm just going to keep making content that I think is entertaining, right? And my hardcore group of quote-unquote fans, and I will, yeah, let's call them fans, yeah, my fan base, really, 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 really enjoy my videos. And I call it, I know it's hard to believe, a hobby. Yeah, it's not a career, it's a hobby, right? You, literally, your life depends, your income, your livelihood depends on YouTube. Whereas for me, I can just make a video saying, I think TJ Kirk's an idiot. And then, like, go and have a shit or something. And just get on with life. You follow?
But that's not what I said. I never said David Hogg doesn't have the right to be pissed off. In fact, I'm way more on his side of that debate than I am Laura Ingram's. I just don't approve of censorship campaigns. I don't approve of campaigns to silence opposition, whether they're from the left to the right or from the right to the left. It's called having principles, you disgusting fucking faggot. So here, that's what Laura Ingram said. Alright, so this just, who cares? Alright. Oh my god, get it off the screen. Are you gonna talk about it, or are you just gonna show us a clip show?
Based on the fact that she's just bullying a child, somehow TJ Kirk is offended by his use.
He's not a child, okay? He's fucking 17 years old. He's part of the national discussion. He's part of the national discourse. If you want to play politics, that's a big boy game. And if you play the big boy game of politics, you get treated like a fucking big boy. And that means people are gonna say, I hate this fucking whiny bitch, David Hogg. And she didn't even say anything like that. All she said was, oh, he didn't get accepted into the colleges of his choice. How is that a cross the line attack? If she'd said something like, I wish David Hogg was shot in that school, then I could see, okay, I can understand why people are upset. But her attack was so fucking just vanilla, bland, listless. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Well, apparently you do. Alright, so Paul Zigo is joining me at this point because he's bored. He's looking for a place to go.
Yeah.
And hey, Paul, so let me just sum up what's happened so far.
Okay.
So this guy, he started off by talking about how irrelevant I am.
I mean, who doesn't know that?
I mean, yeah, and I'm totally but, you know, so it was like, first of all, he showed my Social Blade stats and how I'm losing subscribers and shit.
Oh, no.
By the way, his sub count, I think, is like 2,000.
I mean, you know what's sad, too, is that, like, people like this force you to drag yourself down to that level. Because, honestly, when it comes to who's correct, it doesn't matter who's watching who. But he's the one that had to go, oh, you're losing subs. Like, you lose more subs every day than he's ever had on his fucking channel, probably.
I mean, I lose more subs, at this point of sub loss, which I already explained totally, like, I'd never lost subs other than when there was controversies of different sorts. I never lost subs with regularity until the YouTube adpocalypse happened. So,
I mean, like, to believe that that is an organic thing and not a result of YouTube fuckery when I have literally 11 years of me steadily gaining subs, and then all of a sudden the YouTube adpocalypse happens, YouTube changes its policies, changes the way it handles content, and then all of a sudden I'm losing subs. And this guy's trying to sell, like, oh, that's just market forces. That's just a totally organic occurrence that has nothing to do with YouTube fucking around.
But even if it was organic, Even if it was organic, how does this fucking pissant, who ain't getting shit for views, who doesn't have shit for subscribers, how does this pissant get off on acting like this is a, if this is a relevancy contest, you lost the moment you opened your fucking mouth. It's just such the ineptitude of bringing it to this level right out the gate. But the major argument we're having here, though, is it's over you remember when Laura Ingraham of Fox News was having advertisers boycott her because of she said something about David Hogg.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And you know, and also I'm right wing and stuff.
Oh,
That's
of
another
course,
thing,
yeah.
You know? But no, I mean, my thing is, and I don't know if Paul agrees or disagrees with this, but my thing is that I believe in a fucking discourse. I don't believe in trying to pull we need to boycott the advertiser's card, or we need to try to silence this person in this way, or whatever the fuck else. To me, have the fucking argument. I want people to be awash in all of the different levels of opinion that could exist on this subject. That's what I want. But my personal opinion, I do believe in fucking common sense gun control regulation, just like the majority of Americans do. So fuck you.
Please, guys, pay attention to me. Please pay attention. For the love of God, I'm wearing a hat. Please know that TJ addresses the criticism and hypocrisy and his stupidity by simply going, a few times, and in a sarcastic voice agreeing that he made a mistake, which isn't really good enough, really. You could,
No, it just wasn't worth addressing.
I mean, is that what you took from this? Is that TJ was apologizing or, like, admitting he was wrong about something? Because that's not what I took from the clip you showed.
What did you take, Paul?
I took that you were dismissive of the argument because it's silly to require you to have a belief about deplatforming. You know, and to, like, excoriate you for fucking applying that evenly, even to somebody you don't fucking... You know, I don't agree with you either. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think I'm a very direct freedom of speech advocate. I believe that freedom of speech entitles you to grab a soapbox and stand on the corner somewhere and say whatever you want.
Right.
I don't believe it entitles you to a platform. I'm perfectly fine with people being tired of fucking Laura Ingraham's reprehensible bullshit and boycotting her advertisers. I got no fucking... She's the one that chose to monetize her content from the outside. She exposed herself to that.
Right.
It's a fundamental consumer right to boycott something you don't agree with. So I don't have a problem with it, but I like I said, I don't see any of the things that he's inferring here.
Well, yeah, he's not making the argument that you're making, though.
No, he's not.
Like, you're actually putting forth a premise that I would actually entertain and respectfully fucking disagree with and have a fucking discussion about. This guy's just like, you're stupid! You're stupid, mate! You're stupid, you wear a funny hat, and you're gonna have 3 subscribers in 2 years.
Well, and he's accusing you of doing the same thing he's doing, like by responding to your argument with just, you're stupid.
or there may be the Trump News Network, Fox News, which does not look at that side of the NRA.
Like, why are we
But
getting...
it wasn't even, like, the attack that she made was so fucking, like, kid gloves. I mean, all she said was he wasn't accepted into the colleges of his choice.
I mean, look, dude, it's a shitty, underhanded thing to do to a fucking kid who's just becoming politically active, especially in the case of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it hurt him all that much. Yeah, I mean, obviously
if
it's
anything,
gotten worse, but...
it blew up in her face.
Oh, absolutely.
More than anything else.
As well it should have. I mean, anybody that's gonna, like, snipe at a fucking high school kid because he didn't get into the colleges he wanted.
I don't fucking think it goes to the level of sniping. I mean, it wasn't like she said David Hogg's a fucking idiot because he didn't get accepted to these colleges.
Well, that was the implication.
Not really. I mean, she
Why bring it up then?
Because she probably just thought, hey, this kid's trying to come across like he's some kind of fucking genius.
But he's an idiot who can't get into college.
I don't think she's saying he's an idiot. I mean, maybe it's kind of implied.
I think that's the implication.
But, you know, she's not coming right out and saying it. She's leaving that wiggle room. Whereas I think if he was an adult, she would have just come out and said, David Hogg is a fucking idiot. Don't listen to him. And no one would have cared. I mean, I don't think you can have this thing where an ideology is allowed to trot out someone who can make arguments on their behalf, but then the other side is not allowed to respond to them as they would any other fucking opponent.
Oh, she's allowed to respond to him in any way she wants. Like,
well, I mean, obviously she's not.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, without risking a fucking advertiser boycott.
Oh, that's her problem. I mean, fuck, dude. Like,
no, I mean, my point is, it's our fucking problem because when you have because today they're boycotting her for this, tomorrow they're boycotting someone you agree with for that, and so on and so forth. It's just a shitty tactic. It's way shittier of a tactic than her bringing up his GPA. in my opinion.
I don't know. Laura Ingraham is a fucking piece of shit.
I don't care if she's
like,
a piece of shit.
Like,
because to her and her audience, I'm a piece of shit and you're a piece of shit.
Sure.
I don't want them to be able to just use the blanket, well, they're a piece of shit anyway, so it's okay to do this dirty, underhanded bullshit.
I mean, isn't that part of the fucking risk you take when you make
your
nut taking corporate money?
It shouldn't be, and I'll stand up for a standard that doesn't allow that shit. That's what I'm saying. That's my position.
I mean...
But right now, I mean, like you're making better arguments. Well, that's for this guy than he is.
He's giving us this like background on why Laura Ingraham is a total piece of shit and why people that take money for the NRA and argue against gun control are total pieces of shit. And like there are no two dudes on the planet that know that better. So you're giving us this fucking lecture that we don't need to try and make yourself look like you were right in an argument that you're not even willing to engage TJ on like I'm doing.
It's because in his mind, I'm coming at this from a pro-gun right-wing perspective.
Right. Because
he doesn't watch he admitted at the beginning of this video he doesn't watch anything I fucking do. How do you make a 45-minute I would never, let me just tell you something about my fucking irrelevant-ass YouTube career. Never in all of it would I have ever made a fucking 45-minute video towards someone where I didn't even understand what their fucking politics were. I'm losing patience with your fucking video. I'm gonna fucking play a little more. We'll see if you actually make a fucking point, but I'm gonna tap out of this out of sheer fucking frustration with how little you know about where I'm coming from if you don't fucking say something real smart, real quick.
You stupid fucking retard.
That about sums it up.
And I'm done with you. Piss off. You're never going to get my attention again.
If there are any TJ fans watching now, normally you wouldn't last this long, but if there are any people watching, just to appease you, I will say at this point, TJ is a victor. His dick swinging competition that he's got going on, he's got the bigger dick. TJ's dick is bigger than my dick. He's got a lovely, pristine, swingy, wobbly, fucking massive dick. Congratulations. If there are any TJ fans watching this, I know you wouldn't normally last this long before pausing the video, going down to downvote it and calling me a cuck like an adult. But if there are any ones still watching, let's appease you for a second and say that in this dick-swinging competition that TJ has just formulated for some reason, he is definitely the winner, yeah? Your man, your hero, has got a big willy. Big, big willy. He's got a big... What the fuck am I talking about? Congratulations, TJ. Your wang is impressive. I mean, I live in Britain. I can see it from over here. Fuck me, it's a big one. It's a Godzilla has got a smaller dick than you, TJ. Fucking hell. TJ ends his video by saying he's never going to pay attention to me again, and I'm sure he will not bother watching this video that I've made. For you, my subscriber base, my teeny tiny subscriber base, to show you his arguments are still pretty rubbish, and that his co-host even poo-poos his thoughts, TJ's thoughts. It's just phenomenal that people can have such a huge subscriber base by just being wrong all the time. I suppose in the previous video I did say that is part of the appeal of these people. They are wrong, and they stand by that wrongness, you know. Yeah, I've said something bad, and I can say that because I got 1 million subs. I've said something wrong, and I'm going to stick by that because I got 1 million subs, and that is justification for doing that. I hope you've enjoyed over the last couple of videos me triggering TJ. I don't know why someone would get that angry about so little, but here we are. It's happened. There is a bit I've left out of TJ's video, which is an InfoWars style conspiracy theory about how he's losing subscribers, blaming it on some kind of YouTube related problem, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me and confuses the fuck out of me, to be honest with you, so I haven't included that bit. But I should have said it at the start. If you want to watch his full unedited video, the link will be below. I do suggest you watch the whole thing to get the full idea of what he's saying. But I have kind of let him talk in all of the clips, so no one can really hopefully accuse me of quote mining or whatever. It's literally the stuff that he's said. Hello boys and girls, I just want to make one more point before the end conclusion bit, okay? And that is a lesson, in fact, 2 lessons that I want you to take away with you, whether you're a fan of me or a fan of TJ Kirk. And the lessons are thus. Number 1, if you are a short, hairy British person and you want to make a few points about someone with a bigger platform, and you use stats to make your point, you know, literal facts that are available for everyone to see online, then beforehand you really need to watch about 500 hours of his content, otherwise you haven't got a leg to stand on. That is logical, and anyone who tries to argue with that point is an absolute dick. There is no way that that could be argued against. We're all in agreement? Good. Point number 2, if you are then criticising a British person for just talking about factually yourself, and then you don't watch the entire one video that he made about you, you could have just like edited bits, like the highlight package, put it up and then talked about each of those bits, but you couldn't be bothered. Instead, you didn't even watch the whole video of mine. And I don't know if it's dawned on you, but you do come across as a bit of a hypocrite if that's the literal stance that you, to be fair, your co-host, and indeed all of your fans who have contacted me thus far have taken. Or you've not watched enough of his stuff. He didn't even watch one of my videos. He's a fucking hypocrite, and it's, I mean, it's, if it wasn't so poor the way it was, the way he did it all, then it would have been quite depressing that someone operates that way. But I find it hilarious, to be honest with you. Anyway, last bit coming up now. Now, here's an interesting development for you boys and girls. As I was beginning to edit the video that you are watching now, I noticed that TJ Kirk had quoted one of my tweets and added to it on Twitter. Remember, this is a guy who said,
"You're never going to get my attention again."
He was replying to one of my tweets which says, "A certain someone has been bitching and moaning about me to his 1 million subscribers. Apparently, I'm not allowed to criticise someone with a big channel. I didn't get the memo." He replied with, "You are allowed to, but you should do so with a modicum of intelligence and a basic foreknowledge of the position being taken." Well, that's very, very easy for someone who didn't actually watch the whole of my video, so doesn't really know everything that's going on in my whole opinion there, and hasn't watched any of my content. It works both ways. And then he adds, "Also, now I have a big channel. I thought you said I was irrelevant." I think what I alluded to is that you will eventually be irrelevant. I didn't, as far as I remember, I didn't come out and actually state those words. I guess it's another case of the amazing shifting narrative, right? I don't know what that means, because I've consistently said the same thing over and over again. You've confused me saying your channel is dying with me not acknowledging that you have a big channel. You do. I have consistently said you have over 1 million subscribers, but that will drop and drop and drop and drop as the months and years go on. It's as simple as that. If you want to support this dying channel, then you can press a button that says subscribe, and it makes me jizz out of my dick, my tiny, tiny dick, right? You could like the video and share it online if you wanted to. You could call me a cuck in the comments section, but get this, I'm trying to get people to move away from buzzword insults. If you want to insult me, please use your imagination, and you never know, it may get approved. So you can call me names if you want, if you're a TJ fan. You can downvote the video if you want. I have no idea why people do that and think that is going to hurt a content creator that they dislike. I find it hilarious that they think that that is going to make me cry. Downvote the video if you want. Literally, I couldn't give a shit. It's so funny. But, you know, if you are a nice person and you want to support this, there is a thing that I do called Patreon. I'm sure you heard of it. I don't quite have 3,000 patrons. I have significantly less. But if you do think that this is worth $1 per month, you can give me $1 per month, or you just want me to give me a one-off payment, there's PayPal as well. But I don't need it, because unlike TJ, this isn't my career, and I've just about get enough money to survive. But if you want to throw me a few more as like a tip, go ahead.
Money, 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 money.
Apart from that, thank you for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed laughing at TJ with me. I'll be back in the future with a Jordan Peterson video and a few other projects. Until next time, laters, baters!